Is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
Things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. Messed up and out of touch, let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that so maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everyone's doing well. We started out last night with some breaking news. And tonight we're going to start out going back and discussing that for a moment before we get into the rest. There is not much. I've got, aside from what I'm going to tell you about in the beginning here, I've got 3 other tabs open. That's it. So, not much. And, there really wasn't a lot to highlight, in my opinion. So, we'll just make it an easy night. Not a problem. Pardon me. Ooh. Between belching and I've been downing coffee and had a little bit of a coughing fit as usual right before the show. So we started out last night with some breaking news about, you might remember, just this little insignificant, very inexpensive, military equipment. Oh, yeah, the F-35, the $80 billion plane. Yeah. Or is it 80 million? Whatever. After a while, does it really matter? So, anyway, this plane went missing last night in South Carolina. And now they have found a debris field, and I'm feeling pretty confident they probably got the aircraft. But there's still questions that remain. Now, I have listened to a couple different content creators' ideals, but where they're running with this, they run with everything now, so I guess that's par for the course. So they kind of put out, that they kind of told us, in a sense, what happened without telling us exactly how it happened. Okay, let me explain. I got a article here. We'll start out with reading it, and then I'll explain to you why I've come to that it's going to be one of 2 conclusions on this incident. So, Marine Corps leader orders safety stand down of all aircraft after F-35 disappearance. Now, see, that might make it sound like, somebody's doing something kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not so quick to believe so. Although, that is one of the 2 things that I feel could have happened, but extremely unlikely. So, says here, all Marine Corps aircraft inside and outside the U.S. were grounded Monday after a stealth F-35 jet mysteriously disappeared in South Carolina, according to an order issued by General Eric Smith, the acting commandant of the Marines. Ooh-ah. So, no, not me. But I still like to ooh-ah. Is that okay? Anywho, so, first off, there's some big clues here that many people probably miss. So the F-35 is not just a platform flown by the Marines, of course. The Air Force flies it. I believe the Navy's got some. Of course, the Marines have some. And, well, the Army's still playing in the sandbox. But we might get them a Cessna 172 or something. I'm kidding. Have Green Berets showing up at my door. Motherfucker. Just kidding, yo. Anywho, it's not the Marines, the Air Force, the Navy. It's just the Marines. So why explain that detail? Because it's not an issue with the aircraft. The issue's not with the aircraft. The issue, I believe, wholeheartedly, is the pilot. And I believe the cause was most likely incompetence. Oh, you mean no big conspiracy? It wasn't aliens? That they didn't put the tinfoil in the right place in the cockpit, so the aliens got a hold of it and... Nah. Nah. Now, is it possible that an outside entity could gain access to these aircraft? I believe so. Because I believe that these aircraft can be flown remotely. So, I do believe so. I do believe there is a way to access these newer aircraft and take over control. But is that what I think happened? No. Why do I keep hammering down on these same, kind of the same direction? One of them would be incompetence, the other one would be an outside entity did gain access. Let's continue reading a little bit. The Pentagon said in a statement that the pause in operations would allow units, this is clues too, to discuss aviation safety matters and best practices. Marine leadership will use the stand down to ensure the service is maintaining operational standardization of combat-ready aircraft with well-prepared pilots and crews. Okay? Something's starting to smell like incompetence to me. During the safety stand-down, aviation commanders will lead discussions with their Marines focusing on the fundamentals of safe flight operations, ground safety, maintenance and flight procedures, and maintaining combat readiness, the statement said. The Marines in Joint Base Charleston and Air Base in North Charleston, South Carolina, were working Sunday to locate an F-35B Lightning II jet with a price tag of about $80 million. So it was with an M, not a B. After the pilot safely ejected from the aircraft, he was in stable condition Monday at a medical center, a spokesperson for the Air Base said. We're getting to the meat and taters. Officials said Monday evening that a debris field had been located about 2.5 hours northeast of the base. Two defense officials said Monday that although the jet was on autopilot when the pilot ejected, it does not have the range or ability to fly for such a long period without refueling. It remained unclear what caused the pilot to eject. So, if you don't in any way kind of play around with aviation, whether it be in a sim or whether you've flown yourself or whether it's just an interest or whatever the case may be, you would likely miss something among that information I just read that would seem a little bit amiss. You do not want to be the pilot, especially the military pilot, that does not turn off autopilot before punching out. You don't want to be that guy or that gal. And so, in context of everything that I just shared with you, my vote is incompetence. I don't know if it was an accidental ejection. Could have been an accidental erection causing the accidental ejection. I don't know. I'm not judging. But somehow he popped his lid. And probably not very happy about it, though. Premature ejaculation. Anyway, I'm sure I'm sure he has got no ass left at this point in time. There is that little slim possibility that some other outside entity gained access to the computer systems on the aircraft and punched the pilot out. But I doubt it. I highly doubt that. So, he could have experienced issues and punched out. But, it's the government. They're going to release as little information and or misinformation as possible. And, again, in light of everything that I covered on it, just in this one article, sounds to me like they've got some safety briefings to be had, which to me is a big indicator, as in fault. Pardon me. Now, maybe the pilot punching out, that itself, maybe that was something that was called for. Maybe there was an aircraft issue. But he should have turned off the autopilot before he punched out. And should have probably done everything he could as the PIC to get that aircraft pointed somewhere not in the direction of people or animals or infrastructure. There was that incident that happened in Italy that I had talked about yesterday as well. And that's what bothered me about the video from that incident. It didn't appear to me that the pilot was trying to do anything to make sure that you got a roadway coming up and curving around. Now I don't know what's left. I'm not up in the plane, right? I don't know what's left, but why didn't he bank left? Why didn't he do something, bank left, go ahead and pull up a little bit? Yeah, sure, he's going to lose everything and just splat. But he could have maybe gotten past that highway and then let it just splat as he punched out. But none of that. It's like he just let it go in right towards the roadway. Now, again, I'm not like judging the guy. I'm not trying to say this is what happened. I'm nothing, because I wasn't in the plane. I have no idea what was going on. There may have been reasons why he couldn't do that. So, with these aircraft, a lot of them are quite different. Now, I don't expect that a aerobatic aircraft is really super high-tech in the sense of computers operating control surfaces and stuff. I don't see that happening. I'm pretty certain that any aerobatic pilot is going to want as much feel in those controls as possible. And you're not going to get that with your computer-controlled systems. Not on the same level that they're going to want. Because you can tell a whole lot just by messing with that stick a little bit while you're flying. You can tell a whole lot about how your aircraft is doing through the air. Just by how the control surfaces feel. Do they feel mushy? Do they feel firm? Do they, it's completely different. If you're mushy, you better speed up. Alright, let's see. So they located the debris field, told you that. Again, I think he's going to get an ass chewing. That's coming. But we'll see. I think it's truly for safety that they're having the Marines stand down with their aircraft, because it's not just that F-35. They had just lost an F-18 within the last month or whatever, and then they lost an Osprey within the last month. So the Marines have been taking some hits in their aviation. And I don't think that there's anything nefarious. There actually is quite a bit. Will you people stop and leave Doug alone? Gosh. I just had a notification I saw popped up. Somebody reported a post in our little town group. So I went to go check on it, and it was the local Rent One dude, or Rent a Center, I don't remember. I think Rent a Center. I don't know. Anyway, it's the dude that runs the store that takes care of the local people here. Everybody reports his posts, and I have no problem with him posting there. I tell everybody to just block him. You don't want to see his post? Block him. He's got a customer base here, and I don't want him to lose that communication with that customer base. Times are rough for everybody, and I'm not going to, just to be a dick, I'm not going to stand in the way of somebody trying to feed their family. You know? I don't like the rent-to-own business at all. I wish it would be outlawed. But that's me. That's me. I don't have that right to push my bullshit on other people. Right? I know how to fix things. So if it was my responsibility, if I owned the appliance and it broke, I would likely fix it. Not everybody can do that. People that can't do it, people that don't know how to get a line on a cheap replacement, the only thing they know is, well, I can only afford payments. So to the rent-to-own place they go. There are some people that's their only way they can do it. So I'd be awful big dick to stand in the way of that just because that's not where I stand. I don't know. I try to think about things. Let's see. Coffee. I thought I heard tires squalling and stuff a second ago, but didn't hear anything else though. Didn't hear no gunshots. I didn't hear the high-speed chase through town. Oh, that's right. It's Highland. All right. We gotta go there. Male crowned homecoming queen in Missouri. I'm sure that at some point during the evening, he will be awarded with a pearl necklace. And congratulations on your pearl necklace. Let's... yeah, okay. You know, hey, I mean, if you're gonna show me a level, something on the level of this wrong, I mean, I've got to at least meet it halfway when I come back, right? I mean, come on. Missouri, but Kansas City area, so what, you know. You only find those kinds of people in two parts of Missouri. The St. Louis and Kansas City. St. Louis, you'll find anything. Except for your wallet. You ain't ever getting that back. No. Anyway, Oak Park High School in Kansas City, Missouri has crowned a biological male as this year's homecoming queen. The coronation of Tristan Young was announced on the school's official X, formerly Twitter, gotta say that for the next 5 years, account on Saturday. However, the comments section under the post was closed. I wonder why. The incident is allegedly the second time the school, which belongs to the North Kansas City School District and George Soros, has awarded the title to a biologically male trans student, despite there being multiple biologically female contestants for the traditionally woman-only award. Homecoming Queen is an honorary title used in high schools, which is typically awarded to a young female, no dong, right? No dong, right? Along with the homecoming king, dong, it's chosen by their peers or peni, or by a committee of faculty members to reign over activities. That's where the pearl necklace comes from. I told you, it's gonna make it rain, baby. I'm done. So that nonsense is going on. Wait. Oh no, that was one. That nonsense is happening in Kansas City, Missouri. So if you happen to live in Kansas City, Missouri, or since, because STDs too spread, even if you're in Kansas City, Kansas, you might want to move. Because you got some freaks around you. I'm sorry, man. There's a queen. Where's that? All I can hear in my head, dude, is Dancing Queen. He's the Dancing Queen. That's all I can hear in my damn head, and it's horrible. It won't go away. Oh, man. Hi, moving on to Canada, another land of the gay. They are threatening to fine grocery stores over. I'm sorry to the Canadians, but Trudeau, Anyway, they're threatening to fine grocery stores over high prices. Wow, imagine that. Says Canadian government is taking aim at grocery stores, warning them of big consequences if they fail to provide relief for Canadians by stabilizing food prices by October 9. This comes amid rising inflation in the country and as Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party trails badly in the polls. That's because you're a traitorous muck. So here's the thing. This may sound good to a lot of people. Anytime the government does something, it's probably not good. Even if they made it sound real warm and fuzzy to you, yeah, you're probably getting it in the ass just as bad. So, if the government steps in and says, okay, you're buying the goods at this amount, you have to sell them at this amount. What the government can then do is squeeze out those business owners by making that price that they're allowed to charge as closely to the price that they have to pay. Once you're squeezed long enough, you're out of business. And guess what happens when all the businesses that do that businessing is gone? Well, the void is going to have to be filled. Well, the government's right there watching it all. Who would be better than to take control of the food supply chain than the government? Right? Especially when you sit in your pod in your 15-minute city eating your pretzel stick. Slow down, you only get 3 a day. Yeah, well, you know, yeah, I think part of the landlord thing is a game of the Hegelian dialectic going on. What do I mean by that? Well, now, all I know is, like, how things are from where I live. And here there are still some small landlords, if you will, like our landlord. He's not like got just shit tons of properties. He's not some big corporation or nothing like that. He's just the, I won't say the average landlord, because he's like, we love our landlord. He is kick-ass. So, I can't say he's the average landlord. He's like a million times better than the average landlord. But, as far as the properties he owns and whatnot, he would be, quote-unquote, an average landlord. Small average landlord. But most of the rental properties are either owned or are being bought up by these big outfits, these big property management companies. So what's eventually going to happen, they're doing the same thing to the landlords. They're squeezing them out. You see? They're doing the same thing. They're going to do this in every single market. They're going to squeeze the people out. They're going to make it to where it's not profitable. And then they're going to centralize everything and take over control. That's what's happening in your nation, right in front of your eyes. It's happening around the world, not just the United States or Canada. Right on. Yeah, I mean, well, even here, it's of course on a much smaller scale than most places, but there's even gentrification going on right here. Now, there was a building, and I know I talked about it one night on the show. I always known it as the Eagle Inn Apartments. A gaudy green-colored building across from the post office in town. Hang on. I will show you. No, not Gmail. Get out of there. No. I want not that. I want this. I can click the right damn thing. Alright. Speedway. Dollar Tree. Lloyd Theater. Alright. I'm a little guy here. Put me right here, please. Not looking at the post office. That's the post office. And it used to be, I don't think the sign's up anymore. It might be somewhere. No, because the sign was right there, I think. It used to be a fallout shelter. So, I believe the sign was up there, but they've taken the sign down. At least at the time of this photo. Oh, hell to the no. It's gone. Oh, hell. You want to talk about new? Damn. Wow. Yeah. Yo, that's crazy. See more dates, yes, please. Butamus. We got May 2018. Bam. There you go. That is what was sitting there. That is known as the Eagle Inn Apartments, or was known as the Eagle Inn Apartments. And it has some historical significance. This, right over here, is a theater. And from my understanding, Lincoln had passed through, and I don't know all the details, but as far as I know, he watched a play in the theater. No, not, of course, the same one he got shot in. I guess he was into watching plays. I don't know. But from my understanding, he watched a play in the theater, and he spent the night in this building. Now, the other thing, that was back when it was, an inn, before it was apartments, of course. And it would have been after that, when Prohibition was going on. It would be after that, right? I believe so. Yeah, though. So when Prohibition was going on, from my understanding, many of the migrant workers that worked the fields and worked at the brewery and stuff like that would stay in this building. Now, I'll just say rumor has it that in the basement, or a lower area, I don't know that you would technically call it a basement, but I guess so. But you could go down, and there was an area that was locked off. But if you go in there, from my understanding, there was an entrance to be able to get into the other tunnel systems that's in town, because the migrant workers, from my understanding, would travel to the brewery, which was underground in tunnels. So they would leave, they wouldn't even have to go outside. They would go downstairs, they would get in the tunnels, and they'd literally walk all the way to the underground brewery. That would be, hang on, let me see if I can get out of this. Yes. Okay, so I'm right here, okay? Right there. There's the 9th Street Cafe that's kind of close. Well, there, you can see Laurie Theater. So we're going to come over here. Let me look for it. Find it. There's the church. It should be right there. Hang on. Yeah, duh. Okay. Right here. So, that building here, where it says is a museum, I'm going to try to go out. There's a theater. Theater's right here. And the, where the hell is it? Here. So from my understanding, there was a way to be able to get all the way from over there to there. Now, there's something else. There's just something else that I'll point out, and I'll leave it at that, because there are people that will debate just how vast, I guess would be the good word to use for that, how vast the tunnels are. Let me show you something. From my understanding, here's the theater. Let me go right about there. Turn this way. Now, I don't know if you can tell or not, but you should be able to tell. I am probably looking somewhat level. So, clearly, the road goes uphill. There's a hill there. So, we're going to go down this street. And right here is where the top of the hill is. Right here. Okay? from my understanding, the reason why there is a hill here is because the tunnels join here. From my understanding, there's tunnels that come from the brewery's direction that will go down this way, that way, and then I do think that it goes, the system goes for like a couple more streets or so, a couple more blocks that direction, because there wasn't just one brewery, there was two. So, and the other one, I'm not real quite sure. It was somewhere over in this area here. So, the old police department right there. So, I think it's like right around in here or something was the old brewery, I believe. So there were two. And from my understanding, they were connected. Well, I know, all I'll say, I'm just catching back up, looking at the chat. All I'm saying is I know a lot more than I'll admit. That's all I'm saying. But, yeah. Ah. Well, right there it is. So how well of a location is ours for an SHTF? Oh, I would say fairly good. Fairly good. Lots of resources, not just right here, but in the surrounding areas. So a lot of those things I was talking about that are needed to survive. The supplies that you're going to have to be able to get some supply in. Believe it or not, most everything we need is not that far. So I took up the Carenado 182 RG2 today. Earlier, I had hell getting in the sim though, man. It kept me on the update screen, checking updates. And so I finally ran across a forum post where somebody said, well, disable your internet adapter and let it try to kick it out. And then, and sure enough, it worked. I just disabled that temporarily, and it got it out of the loop. Works fine now. So, last article I have open here. Russia strikes Kiev's depleted uranium stocks, says Ministry of Defense. The Russian forces conducted a long-range strike on Ukrainian warehouses storing Western-supplied weapons, including long-range missiles and depleted uranium shells, the Defense Ministry in Moscow has said. In a statement on Monday, the ministry said the military had conducted an overnight high-precision attack on Ukrainian facilities using air-launched assets and drones. The strikes targeted the Kiev regime's sites storing Storm Shadow cruise missiles, depleted uranium ammunition, the statement said. Ministry added that the barrage and the drone raid also hit Ukraine's signals intelligence centers and facilities that train sabotage groups. The strike's objective has been achieved. All facilities have been hit, it added. So, that's probably a really good probably a really good plan. I'm just thinking about that. I mean, if you hit these depots where they're stored at, they're not able to spread it all around. But boy, is there sure going to be a whole hell of a lot of high-level toxicity. I wouldn't want to live anywhere around those depots, that's for damn sure. Because it's going to be way worse concentrated in those areas than what it would have been. Let's see. Alright, got some headlines. Think everything is charged and ready for bed. I keep forgetting to put my watch. My watch, typically, if it's, even if it's only got like 25-30% battery, it only takes about 10 minutes or so to charge up, 10-15 minutes. But I keep forgetting, and I like to have it on when I go to bed. That's part of my SDC, my sleep day carry. No, that wouldn't work. No, my watch is part of my readiness, so I prefer to have it on. Not a big part, let me make that clear. But it is part of the system. I mean, all right. Do some headlines and see some eyelids. Erdogan discusses opportunities for collaboration with Elon Musk. Hey, as long as he's free to do the mixtape with me, I don't care what you do with him. Our close ally reveals fuel supplies to Russia. Key Russian LNG plant resumes full-scale production. U.S. tops 500 mass shootings this year. Well, yeah, with what you guys consider a mass shooting. Gang violence typically gets wrote off as mass shootings now. I'm sorry, but gang violence is not mass shootings. Yet, a large majority of those 500 are going to be gang-related activity. Almost seems like there's an agenda behind that. Zelensky rules out land concessions to Russia. Israel fumes over new Palestinian World Heritage Site. Musk agrees that Ukraine's counteroffensive has failed. And he probably agrees that there's two genders, too. But, U.S. offered Pakistan IMF sweetener for Ukraine weapons, says media. Russia-U.S. trade plunges to new low. Well, yeah, you heard about the things Hunter Biden's done? Oh, no, that's some new lows. Ukraine reiterates threat to EU states. Sweden's NATO membership in the balance, says top Hungarian MP. No victory parade in Moscow or Kiev, says Ukraine's spy chief. Ukraine's zombie economy dependent on Western money, says XPM. Moscow strikes Kiev's stocks of depleted uranium. Oh, I covered that one. EU countries' farmers stage major Ukraine grain protest. Western companies made billions in Russia last year, says a report. Only 34% of voters think Biden would complete second term. I'm not sure he'll complete the first. Russia has recovered from sanctions pressure, says Putin. British mercenary tortured and killed compatriot in Ukraine, says tabloid. Iran and U.S. exchange prisoners. China responds to German FM's dictator jibe. Taiwan warns Australia over China's hidden agenda. China's imports of Japanese seafood plunge. Eastern Europeans pull out of EU grain platform after Ukrainian lawsuit. Thousands protest against EU states' pro-Western government. A jailed U.S.-backed ex-president planning coup, says Georgia. Not the state of Georgia. EU candidate questions bloc's favoritism for Ukraine. Seized Zelensky home could become anti-Nazi museum. China summons German envoy over Barbach's dictator remark. Trudeau says Indian agents may have murdered Canadian Sikh leader. Or it could have been some of your henchmen. Let's see. Russia summons French envoy over Macron's G20 snub. I do see a number 1 up there. EU leaders want new Iron Curtain in Europe, says Moscow. They want to rebuild the wall, you say. Rebuild that wall. And then you'll have to get another Reagan and another splotchy head dude to fix it. So I just got the hell huffed out of me for that joke. I think our dogs are Russian. She cracks me up. Anyway, that's what I got for you. I am going to get out of here. I am going to go to bed. I hope you all have a good evening. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it again. I hope to see you then. Thanks for coming tonight. And as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.